This is the umbrella for 40 enslaved Africans. The cloth on this local mannequin is over 200 years of age, which was given to Serikala by Brazilian friends. But one day, they rose up, they killed their masters, and 75 of them, they walked into the ocean, they drowned themselves.
After the Mobee family shared the horrific reality of slave trade experienced by their forefathers with me,
it was abolished by the help of the man buried here, Chief Sumbu Mobee,
and what slaves passed through during the years of slavery.
And this is for the neck of the slaves.
We proceeded to the next site, which is the Brazilian Barracoon, the cells where slaves were kept.
All these rooms that the family live today, they're all served.
We met the curator of the compound.
My name is Honesto. Though you cannot trace my room with that name, because as an African, we have a name that tells story, historic or directory. Somebody can just locate you through your name. But why we keep on giving our children English, Christian, Islamic name? I'm not saying anything wrong with those names, but we have a name that tells story. If I tell you that my name is Kofi, can you tell me where I come from?
Yeah, you're from Ghana.
You see, you can see how powerful our name is. So please, give our children our name.
Yeah.
You are welcome to Brazilian Barracoon.
Cornerstone furthered the history of the slave trade in Badagry in another dimension different from the Mobee's family's experience, as each family had different experiences during those periods.
You are a Yoruba man.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
My name is Cornerstone, though Cornerstone is my stage and my company name. Yeah. So you're welcome. The slavery began in the 7th century by the Arabs. Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, that you see today, were owned by the blacks. We call them the Kush, the Nubian, the Kamites. But today, if you get to Egypt, what you'll be seeing a white Arabs rolling. What happened to those aborigines, those that live around that axis, the Menes, the first pharaoh of Egypt, who happened to be a black man, the Nefertiti. The jihadists killed majority of the blacks along the axis with the head of their sword, and they planted Islam. And it lasted for 17th century. But in the 15th century, the Portuguese came up with transatlantic slave trade by a man called Prince Henry Navigator. And later, the English joined the trade, and the name of the first slave ship being a Jesus of Lubeck, or Good Ship Jesus, owned by King Henry VIII of England.
Okay.
But later, Queen Elizabeth I rented it out to Johns Hopkins, and they said taking African away as a slave. And that's why it lasted for 400 years. You can see the difference between 17th century and 4th century. You can see it's so different.
So different.
Now, this is the cenotaph of the man that owns this compound.
Seriki Abbas.
He was captured at the age of 6.
6 years.
Yeah, when I said during the Egbas and Dahomey War.
Yeah.
And he has a name. Ifare Melekun was the name given to him by his parents. But today, how come his name changed to Seriki Williams Abbas? And that era, we have 2 categories of slaves. Yeah. We have a domestic slave that work in their masters, while the field work on the farm or on the plantation. Abbas was the first master that owns him as a slave. Okay. Abbas made him a domestic slave, and Abbas in question was a black man like I and I. I just use the word I and I. Me and you understand? Yeah. Now Abbas resided in the Republic of Dahomey. The Republic of Dahomey was changed to the Republic in 1975. Maybe he'll be hearing Cotonou, Ajashe. Yeah. But Abbas later resold him to a white man called Williams. William took him down to Brazil. He taught him how to read and write, which was illegal. Slaves were not meant to go to school. And the main reason why they don't want to educate them, they believe if slaves will be given education, one day he or she will rise and fight for their rights. So through Mr. William, the young man speaks English, Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese. I'm still going to show you some right when we enter the cell. But one day, William called him, young man, come, let me set you free. But with condition, you're going to work for me. And he grabbed the offer, William set him free. When he left Brazil, he first settled in Lagos. I left from Lagos colony, he came down to research. When he came here, it was the Williams, the second master, that built this compound for in the 1840s. In 1895, he became the Seriki Musulumi of Badagry. Seriki is a title among the Muslims. Because they used to bear their masters, that's why he chose to bear the name of the first master, the second, and the title that he had. Now, but the war, what's their name again? Sorry?
Ayodele.
Ayodele, good. Now, Ayodele, the world know this company as Brazilian Baracoon. And the main reason why they call this company Brazilian Barracoon, majority of the slave taking for this compound we have been led through this entrance to that island called Point of No Return to Europe or America. Now, Barracoon is a Portuguese word. It was coins from the word barrack, meaning cell, dungeon, where they are being kept. The compound that we have today, we have total number of 40 rooms in the compound. 40 slaves must be in each of the rooms. But out of the 40 rooms, the federal government of Nigeria met with his family that were still living in the compound where they should retain 2 cells. They now kept most of the relics that people all over the world comes around here to view. Now, before we go in, let's turn around. Okay. Now, when the European came to Africa, we Africans, we have our own currency. Let's say we have the money that we use for transaction, buying and selling them. Now, let me mention 4 types of money we use, our forefathers use them. Tobacco were used as money in those days.
Tobacco.
There's what we call yalla salt. There's a stay in Cross River called yalla. They use salt in the olden days as a form of money. Okay. There's what we call cowrie shell. Yorubas call it
I only know about the cowrie.
Cowrie, okay. Then there's what we also call Manila. Manila is a curved ring. Now, let me bust your brain. Okay. You know, if you see our 100 note, the one that carries our logo, you notice there used to be a green star. Do you have one there?
I don't have one.
You don't have one? I don't think I have. Let me check my purse. I know I didn't have. Okay, well.
No worries.
So that 100 naira, you will notice there used to be a green star. In the middle of the side, there's a curved ring. If you turn the back, you see 2 here, then 1 here. We call it Manila. Portuguese use Manila. Our forefathers to use Manila then. But when they arrive, them say they don't want to do business with our forefather with those kind of money that they will have prepared doing trade by barter. And right on the wall, some, not all, some of the European products that were used in exchange for the slave when they arrived Africa. Like now, European will give our father a mirror and beads. That's what we call bargain power. You can say 3 slaves, I can say 5, you can say 7. We call it the way you can
just
bargain.
Like bidding.
Bidding, yes, you bargain with European. European will give our forefather then a ceramic bowl in exchange for 10 human beings. You know, the problem I've been having is this. You guys believe that all the product that they use, all the resources that were used to build this, we have been taken from Africa. That's why we call it triangular slave trade.
Triangular.
Yeah, they take our resources, then they refine it, they bring it back here to collect our people as a slave. You can see that's why we call it triangular slave trade. Now, one umbrella go for 40 human beings as a slave. European will give our father a one umbrella to collect 40 human beings as a slave. Even though 4 years ago, the vice president, the former vice president, Yemi Oshibajo, came here to see them. I will show you the picture when the vice president came to see the umbrella for 40 human beings. Now, European will give our father a bottle of whiskey in exchange for 10 human beings as a slave. We still have a bottle of 1873 from Vienna, Austria, inside the museum that I'm going to show you. The man that owned the compound, when he became the Seriki Musulumi of Badagry, when they want to turban means when they want to crown him as Seriki, European that were doing the trade with it gave me the kettle as a gift. The Bradis will also give it to him, the Brazilian, they are doing the trade. Now, this one are called cannon gun. The long cannon gun go for 100, the shorter are 40 slaves. European will give you a ding gun, you give them 40 human beings as a slave. Now the question is this. We Africans or black man, what do we do with the guns and the cannon? We use it to fight each other, so to get more slaves to settle. We sold ourselves into slavery, and it's still happening up till it's still the same system still going on in Africa up till
because they are still practicing modern slavery.
Yeah, you understand. Now look at these 2 doors. I've been here since 1840s.
These doors?
Yeah, when the compound was being established. Now if you check the back of the door, you see some ancient inches that they used to mount the door. Can come and have it. Look. Okay. You can see all these things. Look at this iron. Feel the weight of this iron. Wow. See how heavy it is?
Yeah, it's heavy, yeah.
Then you can see the inches. They use longer inches to mount the door that time. Now, what we are going to do now, we are moving. You know, I told you that we have 40 rooms in the
40
compound. But out of the 40 rooms, the government said the family of the father will retain 2 cells that will be seen.
Yeah.
Now, but before we go in, look at this well.
1847.
This well was dug in the 1847 by the slaves. This is where the slaves drink water from.
Yeah.
Now, this time, I used to talk about 3 wells when visitors comes around. This is the first well, dug in the 1847 by the slaves. And this is where they drink water from then. But today, the family that lives here today, they don't drink the water because the water have a connection with the lagoon there. Anytime lagoon change, the water also change color. So it's not drinkable then. But because they were slaves, this is where they used to drink water from. And the well was
because
dug.
they do, their master won't even care.
Yes, because slaves we have been referred to property. They are nobody. You understand? Now, the second well, when you get to the 1st-story building, they'll be telling you more about the second well. Then the third one is across the point of no return that they should give them for them to lose their memory. Now,
guys, this is so sad. Like,
what's up?